appointment of Brother Gulab to our Sri Sathya Sai Values Education Service Trust, New Zealand. Brother Gulab has been a very senior and diligent member of our organization since 1994. He has held various roles such as Sai Center Chair, Regional Coordinator, and Coordinator for numerous national retreats at Tohara Center. Brother Gulab brought Sai Radio to New Zealand in 2004, 1,016 episodes to date. He has published 270 Sai videos on SSIONZ YouTube platform, has been publishing SSIONZ quarterly e-bulletins since September 2012, and is currently our National Zone 3 Media Coordinator. Please put your hands together for Brother Gulab.
My dear Swami, with heartfelt gratitude, I acknowledge the strength and determination that brings from your grace, shaping every edge of my being. I owe all that I am to you. I pray for your everlasting presence to clarify my path further. In humble respect, I offer my pranams to our Divine Lord. Salam, dear brothers and sisters. It is with profound devotion that I stand before you today on this sacred occasion of ARADHANA Day. ARADHANA Day holds profound significance, marking the departure of our beloved Sai from his physical form in the year 2011. His physical presence hasn't diminished his eternal presence in our hearts and lives. Aradhana, a Sanskrit term signifying the act of worship or offering prayers to God, coupled with grand festivals, captures the essence of this day today. Devotees worldwide loving offer their prayers to embodying SSSI teachings. Moreover, the day is also celebrated as World Human Values Day by the SSSIO. A number of cities embodying his teachings and living the 5 own values that you all know: truth, right conduct, peace, love, and nonviolence. And this is the Work for Values project. Some of you might remember that in the year 2009, we did the first project and we walked along Queen Street. Living with Sai is an ongoing journey of expressing the essence in our everyday lives. Let us embark on this journey together, exploring what it truly means to live with Sai. 13 years ago, this very day, our Swami transcended his mortal frame, having fulfilled the divine tasks which he had incarnated on this planet. Though he may no longer grace us with his physical presence, he continues to guide and lead us along the ethical path. On this sacred occasion, let us contemplate the sheer fortune bestowed upon us and express our profound gratitude for being chosen to be drawn into his divine fold. He taught us the oneness of all religions and reminded us of the brotherhood of man, urging us to love all, serve all. Then how can we display our respect and gratitude to Swami? His expectation from us was simple: to amplify noble qualities, foster brotherhood, and serve society with pure heart. The only thing he wants from us is a transformation of our heart so that we may progress into better human beings. Now I'd like to share something which you're not going to find in the internet today, but you might find it next week if that machine doesn't pack up on me. How I found my path of living with Swami. This was a request from Sister Santa. It all began in 1978 when I was a land surveyor in Fiji. I was approached by the then chairman of the Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Seva Samiti in Suva, and they wanted to build a hall on Turek Road. So I, being the only Gujarati surveyor in Fiji at that time, he found about myself, so he approached me, he said, can you do a free service? I said, no problem. So we went in the weekend, it was a rainy day. We completed the topographical survey of the property where they wanted to build a home. And then I received a very heartfelt letter from Mr. Desai, the chairman. As you know, he was the owner of the Desai bookshops in Fiji. And the letter says, in spite of the rainy weather, you had no objection whatsoever, and in these circumstances carried out the survey without any hesitation. We pray to Bhagwanji to grant his blessings and that you may live in his midst of Sai Kripa at all times. This was the first time I saw a picture of Swami in the letter. I just filed the letter away. But if the internet was available at that time, I would have Googled and find out who is this Bhagwanji. It was then in 1980, I was invited to a friend of mine for a cup of tea, and there I saw a huge picture of Swami. Again, it just slipped through my mind. Okay, I didn't pay attention to it. After many, many years, when I settled in Hamilton in 1990, after spending 2 years in Bay of Islands, I was approached by Brother Suresh, Suresh Rama. He was then in Hamilton. And he was doing house-to-house bhajan session in Hamilton. So he forced me to come along to the bhajan and take part. So I just went and sat down. It's the first time I heard Sai bhajans. I wasn't impressed, but I said, okay, I just took part. And then, instead of going house to house, they managed to get a room in a forest-like school. And over there, I was dragged by my wife, Kanta, to drop her off. I drop her, go back home, pick her up. When a couple of months, I said, geez, I'm wasting my time, dropping off and up. I said, let's stay there, see what's happening. So I stayed back and sitting at the back of the hall. And I was quite impressed by the format, the way it was formatted, the whole program. English bhajans and some Europeans in there. And the guy playing guitar. I never thought guitar would miss with bhajans. I liked it. I said, good, okay, I'll do that. And, so I just go and sit there at the back of the hall. And then I was approached to play Manjira. I said, Manjira? I said, okay, play that. And then they told me to sing the first line of Unison Bhajan. Why fear when I'm here? Why? So I start singing the first line only. And then some services start happening, which was Meals on Wheels. And at that time, I was also involved in Lions Club, doing service in Lions Club. So I start comparing the two, doing the Meals on Wheels and the Lions Club. Lions Club, you do the service, go to the bar, have some beers, meet on the table. Whereas the Sai was totally different. You have a touch with the people when you drop the meals to them, you talk to them, you get the feeling. So there was something different. So I dropped away from Lions Club. I said, let's concentrate on Sai service. And then I was approached to do a monthly newsletter for the center. I said, okay, I'll do that. Now, to do a monthly newsletter, you need some information. So I start buying books, start reading about Sai teachings, and then I extract that thing into the newsletter. So that's happened for a while. And then what happened was there was an issue in our region. No, we used to have issues that those days too, It's not only now. So there was power fighting. People wanted to become a regional chairperson. So I was approached by Arthur Hillcourt under the banner of Richard Wallace, Mother Betty, and Mother Madeline. They came along, they approached me, said, why don't you become a regional coordinator for the region? Well, I said, no problem. I said, see the way the Swami is putting me into the picture? And then we had the first Maori center in Rotorua. It was Andrew. Andrew was behind it. And we also had the first conference in Marae. That was also in Rotorua. It was way back in 1998's time. And then I was fortunate enough to attend the first World Conference of Overseas Chairpersons. That was in 1988, the first time I visited Prasanthi. And boy, there was some feeling when I saw Swami eye to eye. And guess whom I met there? Brother Guna, sitting next to me and asking me all the questions about New Zealand. I was wondering why. No wonder he's here. Coming back home, more books, more CDs, converting CD songs into MP3s and things like that. And then they made me the national reporter, and then they asked me to do active workers conference, workshops, and things like that. And we did a lot of them in Tauhara Center. We had guest speakers like Bobby and Arthur Hillcott, Jack and Louise Holley, Bena, Jamsai, Jaga, Suresh Govind, you know it, you name it. Then I was approached to do Radio Sai News. And that was by, I think it was Raniga, he was the president of the center at that time. He said, why don't you do that? So, all right. So we started doing recording in the studio. And now it's all happening at home because of the technology. You can do all the Sai News, we're doing it at home. And then in 2009 came the New Zealand Sai Choir. That was some experience. You know, we were sitting right on the dais where there is now Samadhi. And this material, this cloth is made of material Swami gave to us on the Samadhi of 2009. So this is something very close to my heart. And then involvement with family. If Swami says things start with your family, so we involved, my daughter got involved in it, my grandkids got involved in it. So that's how it starts, just getting into Swami. Then original newsletter, I started coming quarterly e-bulletins, which you must have seen that. And then they asked me to do all the interviews of senior citizens, senior Sai citizens. So we interviewed about 11 interviews so far. They're all in the YouTube. And then that's also in the New Zealand Sai video collections. It's all there. Then came COVID. So they asked me to start doing online bhajans. You must watch. We did the year 2020 Swami's birthday. While preparing that video, it was a good experience. We involved, I think it was Rupeni was there, plus Prasant. And we learned the technique of how to use a blue screen technique. It was something fantastic. It's all in the YouTube. Watch this, it's quite good. And the other experience we had was the Akhand Bhajan recording. We managed it, although it wasn't perfect, but we did it. Right, in conclusion, I'm running out of time. Living with Sai is a many-sided journey of spiritual growth and transformation. It entails practicing love, cultivating inner peace, serving mankind, upholding moral values, and surrendering the divine will. As we observe ARADHANA Day, let us recommit ourselves to living his teachings every day, ensuring that his legacy continues to inspire and guide us in a spiritual journey. As Sai devotees, it is incumbent upon us to wholeheartedly support and contribute our love, good faith, best efforts, and ensure that the SSSIO International Organization continues to serve as a beacon of selfless love and service in the world. Brothers and sisters, let us remain united and work hand in hand to fulfill the mission of Sri SSSIO. Swami was entrusted with us sufficient work, and with his divine guidance, no challenge is impossible. On this ARADHANA Day, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound impact of Sri SSSIO's transition from his physical form on each of us individually. Now, may I request everyone to close your eyes for a while and journey back to the moment when news of his departure reached you. Recall the emotions that rose within you and sense of loss, perhaps mingled with confusion or disbelief. For many of us, it was a moment of profound sadness, as if a guiding light had been taken away from our lives. Now you may open your eyes and remember that although Sai Baba may have left his physical form, his spirit remains ever present among us, in this very hall, in our hearts, and in the countless ways He continues to touch our lives. Sai Baba is here, guiding us, inspiring us, and showering us with the boundless grace. Let us carry forward His legacy with unwavering devotion and commitment, knowing that He is always on our side, leading us in the path of love, service, and self-realization. Salam.
Thank you, Brother Gulab, for sharing with us your experiences, your journey, and your continued growth in our SSI organization. And I know that we all have our paths to fulfill. Thank you for talking about transformation of our hearts. And thank you for inspiring us to continue the work of Swami.